But first this morning, our Landmarks in the Land series is back. The arcade downtown has played an important role, not only in Cleveland's history, but also the nation's. It first opened in 1890, and in our latest installment of our Landmarks in the Land series, we're going inside the iconic and stunning architectural marvel that was once known as Cleveland's Crystal Palace. In the rush and routine of downtown Cleveland, it can be easy to get lost in the daily grind. But at Cleveland's arcade, if you don't stop and look around, you might miss the magic.
It's spectacular.
Opened in 1890, the indoor shopping center connected Euclid and Superior, an architectural marvel and gathering place for Clevelanders.
It is part of a movement in urban areas for indoor shopping. You can look at the arcade as the mall of the late 1800s.
With big Cleveland names like Severance and Rockefeller pitching in with funding, historian John Grabowski says the building is more than just a beautiful structure.
It's an emblem of Cleveland at a time when the city was really growing, when it had political power.
Through the years, the arcade has played host to national events and has been home to dozens of retailers. But with the rise of suburbanization and strip malls in the mid-20th century, business slowed. As reinvestment efforts began in downtown Cleveland in the 80s and 90s, the arcade received renewed attention.
By 1999, it had to, there were multiple buckets on the floor catching water. The building was in some jeopardy.
Tom Yablonsky is involved with historic preservation advocacy in Cleveland. He recalls how the renovation project, completed in 2001, transformed the arcade into a hotel with shopping.
I walked into this and I knew instantly. They had me.
Robert Dorr, with the Hyatt Regency Cleveland at the arcade, was struck the first time he walked in the doors. The grandeur of its iron carvings and light court still on full display more than 100 years later.
The wow factor, of course, is the ceiling of the arcade. It's 100 feet tall. It's 300 feet long. It consists of 1,800 panels of glass.
Dorr says 51 gargoyles watch over the arcade. Copper stampings line the walls, and the marble floors, worn from decades of footsteps, still impress. These ornate details, enough to catch national attention.
The fact that it's on the National Register of Historic Places indicates that people have appreciated it. It was the first site in Cleveland on that, so it's a highly regarded site.
The entire arcade is nestled between two 9-story buildings on Euclid and Superior. Today, the first 2 floors are businesses and restaurants with 293 guest rooms rising above. And while the historic status prevents major changes to the interior of the arcade, the guest rooms still offer modern amenities. The hotel, a popular backdrop for events.
The reviews that we get are incredible. Best wedding ever. I attended a friend's wedding there. My daughter had her wedding there.
A landmark built in the 1800s, meant to be a great connector and destination for downtown Cleveland, still serving its original purpose all these years later.
It's special to a lot of people in many, many different ways. And having been around as long as we've been around means there are stories galore. And we're always hearing a new one.
Yeah, if those walls could talk, I mean, they would have literally decades and decades of stories from the 1800s. Yeah. It's amazing. It still stands the way it largely looked back then.
Honestly, it is so breathtaking just entering there. It's just all around beauty. Even the smallest detail is just so beautiful.
It's one of my favorite places to take out-of-town guests.
Yes.
And just show them. And it's not a bad place to go when it's cold out and we have some sunshine, because you just sit in there, you can work on some of the tables that kind of surround the what would you call those stores?
The light court, yeah,
right
the
around.
stores, yeah.
So beautiful.
And it brings a little sense of energy to the building too. It comes to life around Christmas time too.
It's stunning.
Beautifully decorated. And maybe if you have to hit the post office, you consider even hopping to the post office in the arcade.
Oh yeah.
It's just a place to be, and it's not a bad stop in if people are downtown today, because there's a lot still going on downtown Cleveland, of course. Hadestown finishing up their weekend and tour.